I'm not gonna bring them up everything. Because if it's only that, it'd be one thing if it was here on in, but like I live so close, I would drive back, and it's only 5 hours a day. I'm assuming it's in the morning, correct? Monday. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'd probably do mornings, and I would just drive home on Friday and stay there from Friday. Because like right now, for the next until they turn 18, I have enough to pay all my bills and stuff. So I'm pretty. That's why I'm trying to do this now instead of waiting until. Yeah, I'd rather do something like the cheapest way I can get out of it, because like I don't know, that's what I'm looking, especially if it's a separate expense, you know. Like I gotta try to find it as cheap as I can. Okay. Because I've already, like I said, I've already talked to my father-in-law. Said I could go back to work if I wanted to, and he'd watch him for 3 weeks at a time. So I'm pretty sure something like this wouldn't hurt. And one more, you said it's all over the country or all over the world, right? Because I've lived, my dad lives about up north. My dad lives up there, and we're actually looking for another house since my wife's passed away, somewhere on the eastern shore of Delaware and Maryland. And I'm planning on going up there within the next year and a half. So, some kind of, you said it's good everywhere. Okay. No, I tried. Okay, because like I try to stay out of Harley as much as possible, because they're expensive. You know, I mean, everything, it seems like everything Harley sells themselves is more set up for your middle-aged guy that just grabbed a bike and can afford, you know, everything under the sun. I don't think they're really set up for your common gearhead, to tell you the truth. From my experience. Well, just period. Parts, anything you buy, it seems like it's more not working in the. I'm talking about for like a customer base. Harley seems like everything you walk in is more set up for a guy that is middle aged, that is going through something, that buys a $30,000 motorcycle and can afford to put every little doodad and bell and whistle on it, you know. And the common guy goes in there and like decided to buy a sissy bar from him, like, for a couple pieces of metal was $250, and it didn't even have the back. Like they wanted like $120 just for a little backrest. And you gotta remember, I'm used to mess with that old junk, and I paid $500 for my whole top end when I was redoing my bike. And I'm looking at a whole top end of a motor and looking at a piece of metal that goes on the back of that thing, and it's, you know. But I guess working there would be a whole different story, you know, because if they're charging that kind of money. Yeah, well, not even that, and then I guess if they're charging, I'm assuming they're paying pretty decent if everybody's, because it seems like everybody in the world is into, like, it's not, like, a bad thing anymore, I guess you'd say, or a macabre thing, like the motorcycles, the Harley has hit mainstream, I guess you would say. Like, when I was born in the 80s, and growing up, even through the 90s, it was starting to turn, you know, but like my dad's era, you know, people really didn't look kind of down on you. You know, you were lower class, so I guess that's a good thing for if you want to do this as a profession these days, because the work's there, I guess.
Yeah.